We also shouldn't give the patient our personal numbers, telephone numbers, and contact information. We really should have that all go through the office. So if the patient, if they've got a question, they'll have the appropriate contact information at our corporate office, and they'll be able to get their questions answered or to communicate any pertinent information that needs to happen. Once an assignment is over, once you're finished, it's important not to contact that patient after you're no longer on that assignment. It's critical when you're on an assignment and you're working with a patient to not leave that client unattended. And if there's ever a situation, let's say for example that there's medication that they need to have a prescription refill, let's say at a Walgreens, and they don't have anybody that can go get that medication. If there's ever a situation where maybe you would be the one going to get that medication, it's important to contact the office before you do that to make sure that that's going to be okay, that that's going to work, and there's not an alternate arrangement that can be made so that we don't leave that that client unattended. Again, communication is just so key for everybody involved to make sure that we're all on the same page and clearly communicating. It's also up to you to really keep us informed and let us know about any situation or circumstance regarding the care setting that impacts the client or that impacts your ability to deliver service. So if there's any situation in the household or something that's going on that's getting in the way of that, let us know and we'll do what we can to work through that together. Clients and their families, it's so important to treat them with respect and dignity at all times. Those are core values that we have, and we expect you to espouse those same values. It's important, again, because of privacy, not to discuss anything that goes on with the clients, with people outside of our team. So definitely keep those things private. Kind of along the same line, it's important that we don't discuss our personal problems or financial problems or things that are going on in our life with our patients. We want to maintain that level of professional relationship and not really get into those personal types of issues. Similarly, talking about religion or politics is something that we don't want to get into. We want to be good listeners, so we're going to have clients and patients that want to talk about these things, and we can definitely listen to whatever it is that they want to discuss. But we just need to kind of keep our level of professionalism relative to how we engage in those conversations. In alignment with being respectful of the client and their family members, it's a good idea to address family members and the clients using Mr. or Miss or Mrs. and their last name, just to be, again, to exemplify that level of professionalism, courtesy, dignity, and respect. It's under really no circumstances should you borrow money from a client or family member for any reasons. This is a grounds for immediate termination. So that's definitely one example of behavior that you really don't want to engage in. It's also, we don't ever want to help the family members or the clients with their financials, whether it's maybe writing checks or anything that they might ask us to do. It can really create problems later. So if a client is asking you to do something, like just fill out this check for me, let them know that it's not something I'm able to do. I'm just not allowed to do that. And again, contact the office and team member if you need a little more help handling that situation. Because we don't want to be disrespectful to the client and we don't want to upset them, but at the same time there's certain things that we're allowed to do and certain things we're not allowed to do, and we just want to maintain those professional boundaries. Similarly, it's not uncommon that clients may want to give you a gift, and it's important to let them know that you have to check with the office first to make sure that's okay. We just don't want there to be any question about our ethics and integrity in situations like receiving gifts and that type of thing, and you can call a member of the team and they can help you with that. The telephones at the client's home, we should not use those for personal phone calls or anything of that nature. So just again, sort of be respectful of their equipment. Again, we're guests in their space. With your cell phones, it's important to keep those turned off at all times so that it's not a distraction when you're with the client. Also, smoking is strictly prohibited in the client's residence or any area where the client or family members may observe this activity. Smoking is only allowed in designated areas, and a member of the team, the coordinator, can help you clarify that if that's a concern for you. Sleeping is prohibited while working with a client. If you're in a situation where you become ill while you're on duty, again, contact the coordinator at our office, a member of the team, and they'll work out getting someone to relieve you. Remain with the client though until we work out alternative arrangements, so don't just leave the client. The same type of thing, if you're trying to find a client's location and perhaps you have difficulty finding it, give us a call and we'll clarify the directions. Don't go home or just abandon the assignment. Contact us, communicate with us, and we'll help you get where you need to go. It's also prohibited to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs while on duty, and again, this is one of those types of offenses that we really have a zero tolerance policy for, and that's grounds for immediate termination.